It's hard to be in the center, it feels like.
For sure.
Just center and then like do like a random walk among the policies around that. I don't know what that mechanism is. Like the public, the Twitter machine is not nice to people who are open-minded.
2 reasons for that. One is because I think a lot of people that market themselves as center are legitimately spineless cowards and deserve to be called out. Here's a really good quote my mom said to me when I was really young. She said, "Stevie, don't ever let your mind be so open that your brain falls out."
Everyone wants to be part of a group nowadays. Especially when there's a million identities that you can have, everyone wants to be a part of some group. They want to feel a part of some camaraderie. Being by yourself can be very daunting. And so for people that struggle with their own identity, they try and look for all these little groups that they can become a part of. Now, in our modern age, we always talk about not wanting to become an NPC. We don't want to be people that are just drifting from day to day. However, when any of us are given the opportunity to not become an NPC, we get so scared of being shunned away from our group that we automatically revert back to being a part of an NPC. For some people, an NPC can be them labeling themselves as a feminist and dyeing their hair purple and going to rallies screaming about a patriarchy, yelling online and typing in Reddit forums about how women are oppressors and are trying to make men slaves to their urges to serve them. Either way, even though these are 2 extremes, these people want a group to belong to. They want to be part of something so that way they themselves don't feel so lonely in this world. Which is why people like me usually get attacked during debates like this. Because we don't belong to either side, both sides see me as an enemy, and if I'm not with them, I must be against them. Something that you see a lot of in internet subculture. So how do you hold your own opinions? Regardless of if you kind of agree with this side or you kind of agree with this side, how do you have your own opinions that make you unique? How do you have them without reverting back to being an NPC and losing your identity? Well, unpopular opinions are just that. They're unpopular. They're not going to score you points with anyone, and if anything, are going to drag you farther away from the group. So here are 3 ways to make sure that you can hold your own opinions. You have to make sure not to fall down rabbit holes. This is probably the biggest thing for people my age. Since we want to know more about people who think like us, we usually go online to things like Instagram or TikTok or Reddit in order to find out more about these ideas. And for 99% of the people, this is where they convert from being their own original self into being an NPC. As soon as you take a step down those stairs, you realize you're not taking a singular step, you're falling down, and you're falling down a rabbit hole. Just like that, you've immediately became an NPC. The once unpopular opinions that you had are now mixed with a bunch of other people's opinions. They're almost factory generated. You no longer have your own opinion. Instead, what you did was you found someone who kinda had similar opinions to you, and you just put them as your own because they sort of sound the same. Now that's fine if you and that other person were the only ones that shared that opinion, but what most young people don't realize is everyone is doing that. These rabbit holes on Reddit or Instagram is what leads people to becoming purple hair feminists or alpha males that you find on YouTube. And of course, they don't see the irony in realizing that their positions are just as extreme as the people they criticize, but they think they're right because they're on the opposite side of the spectrum. But this is what leads to the second way to make sure you're holding your own opinion. Because at this point, you no longer have your own opinion. You've now mixed it with someone else. And if you've mixed it with someone else, you're not gonna have the same opinion. And this is what leads us to having way too many influences and taking on opinions and ideas that we don't even necessarily agree with. Have your own opinions, not others. This is something that I myself have fallen into, where I would watch creators like Fresh and Fit and Rolla Tomasi. I would agree with 30, 35, maybe 40% of what they said when it came to self-improvement. But in my mind, I thought to myself, I need to agree with 100% of what these guys are saying, because if they're right about this, then they must be right about everything else. And so therefore, I started taking on opinions that I realize now were idiotic. Opinions such as men are allowed to have way higher body counts than women. The biggest thing that a man can provide for a woman is all financial. I now realize I didn't hold these opinions because I believed them. I held these opinions because I thought other people in those spaces held them. And so if I agree with them on this topic, then I must agree with them on every other topic, which again leads you to becoming a bot. You realize in the search for trying to find research for your own opinions, instead you've just taken on someone else's. Or before self may have not even agreed with those said opinions. So at this point, you feel lost. But this leads to an overarching idea though. The biggest way to make sure that you don't fall into the trap of becoming like every other person out there. You're gonna have to be comfortable with not being liked. And this is a lot easier said than done. You have endless people on social media talking about how they don't care what anyone thinks and, you know, fuck the haters, man. And I'm going down my own path. The biggest way to do this is to be alone for a while. You're going to have to learn to not be constantly surrounded by other people, because this is what leads us to be wanting to be liked by everyone. Not going out and partying constantly, not going out and hooking up or trying to find a party group of friends, which is the way that people become NPCs, is by having too many influences. Everyone is obsessed with being happy. And more than that, being happy with a group of people. You have to find the positivity that lies within yourself, instead of looking for other people to influence your happiness. Instead of looking for other people to influence your happiness. Not to say that you should lock yourself away like some incel and not talk to any person whatsoever, but instead learning how to be comfortable with your own thoughts. Not to be tucked away in some little hug box, being able to hold your own opinions when they get challenged. Now they may change to new information, and that's completely okay from learning from people smarter than you. However, if your opinion changes just because you're scared of what other people might say about you, again, you have fallen into the trap of being a bot, just like everyone else. So hold your own ideas. Challenge those respectfully who hold different ideas than you. Be comfortable with not having opinions that match up with everyone else's. Thank you for watching to the end of this video. Make sure to scroll down right now. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, send this video to a friend, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Stay safe, stay smart, and start taking accountability today. Peace.
Handsome like Mr. Clean.